Dog, what are you talking about? You think anti-Semitism has been dealt with now because Israel exists? It's worse now, okay? It's gonna get even worse now, as a matter of fact, because Israel keeps bombing everything and saying we're doing this for Judaism. Holy, that is so crazy. I think people's lack of knowledge is a bottomless well. Do you understand? People's lack of knowledge is a bottomless well. You got motherfuckers like this, okay, all the way to, and it goes up in terms of like Nick. Nick is incredibly intelligent in comparison to people like this, obviously. You know? How do you stare at like utter stupidity every day on a daily fucking basis and still get shocked when someone is like not aware of, you know, basic facts that you have, I guess, taken for granted and live with inside of your mind every day? Nick, on the other hand, is brilliant in comparison to a lot of these people I'm saying. Okay? He might have like a lack of interest or a lack of knowledge in certain areas. Nick also lies a lot for entertainment. I mean, we're talking about some complex stuff right now. If you want to,
I don't want to interrupt because I'm quite ignorant when it comes to politics.
No, it's all good.
I don't know nothing about it. So I heard something about fascism, communism. What I hear there?
Yeah, we're just talking about the leader of Hezbollah being killed in an Israeli strike on Beirut. Give Biden 4 more years and clear Bush? No, I don't. I mean, Biden doesn't have 4 more years anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Where's this at?
This is Beirut. This is Lebanon. This is Lebanon's capital with 2.5 million people living in it. Well, it's probably a larger number now because a lot of the Lebanese population that was in southern Lebanon have had to escape into Beirut because they thought that would be a safe territory for them.
What are they running from?
Israel. Israel's bombing the shit out of everywhere.
Wait, what?
Israel, America's greatest ally, the most important country in the world, the most moral nation, the most moral democracy on the planet, is ruthlessly and mercilessly bombing southern Lebanon, including southern Beirut.
What did Lebanon do?
They just kind of were there. They happen to be Israel's neighbor.
You're kidding.
Yeah. Israel's justifications for it is that Hezbollah, which is one of the parties inside of the Lebanese parliament, which was created as a resistance group against Israel the first time Israel invaded Lebanon and occupied it for years, and then successfully fought back against Israel and removed the Israeli invasion from its territorial boundaries, and then did it again in 2006, is lobbing rockets into Israel in a tit-for-tat
Wait, are you saying
border.
Israel's trying to expand?
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
Does everyone know this?
Yeah. Everything. You are so misinformed. Yeah, I know. I'm so misinformed. You're right. Yes, Israel's trying to expand, yes.
And our tax dollars are helping them?
Yeah.
Well, I want my money back.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck with that.
Oh my God. Is this stuff that the average American
district
knows?
of South Beirut.
The average American that is informed will be informed by mainstream media, and the mainstream media usually will tell them, like, you know, Hezbollah, big bad, they're big bad terrorists, they're scary terrorists, they're Islamist fundamentalists, they're scary, scary, scary. Israel good, Hezbollah bad. Israel has to do this in Lebanon because they have to take care of Hezbollah.
So Lebanon has people are called Lebanese, right?
Yeah.
So one of my neighbors growing up was Lebanese, and he had a daughter who was 1 year younger than me. She was really hot.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Don't know what that has to do with anything, but all right.
Wait, I wonder if she's single now.
A sprawling suburb hollowed out by Israeli
bombs. Austin is Lebanese.
Really?
Yeah. Half.
That makes
bombs
sense.
And fear.
Because he's hot too.
A suburb still burning.
There is an intense heat coming from the basement of that building. The sky is dense with the smoke. It smells acrid. The scale of destruction around here is vast. Not just at this site, but everywhere you drive around De Gea, there are signs of these airstrikes. And just a moment ago, we heard Israeli planes in the sky. There is a tense feeling now that as bad as all this is, yet more could be coming.
What's
fresh fire from the sky did soon fall.
Nothing.
But they brought me tremors.
In case like debris falls on his head?
Yeah.
Are they bombing civilians?
Yes. Like a shit ton. Yeah. Like, yeah. Fuck yeah. Of course. Who do you think lives there? These are just residential buildings. Yeah, there's babies in those buildings. There's mothers in those buildings. There's elderly people in those buildings, and they fucking destroyed them and killed like 300 of them It's overwhelming majority civilians. Like,
Are they trying to intentionally hit civilians?
I think their goal is to cause as much chaos as possible, like they did in Gaza, where they don't like their goal is to just like destroy the normal existence of people there to make it unlivable.
Isn't that kind of the definition of terrorism?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is. And they are doing that. They are doing terrorism for sure.
Oh my God.
Compared to the seismic eruptions that leveled large parts of Deheya last night.
The city looks
An
beautiful.
overwhelming use of force focused on
Beirut is a beautiful city. Like Lebanon is a beautiful country. Beirut is a beautiful city. Like it is a very modern city. Like it's a city.
I see a
Like
shopping center right there. On the bottom
Yeah, it
left.
looks like fucking, it's no different than like Paris, or Chicago or some shit. It's just like a city.
breaking Hezbollah's command and control center and decapitating an entire movement. Sheikh Hasan
Israel claims that there are cruise missile launchers hidden under every building, and that grandma is hiding those cruise missile launchers under her bed, and that's why they have to hit those targets. And they use our weapons to hit those targets. They don't have those bombs, so we give them billions of dollars. I believe, like, I don't know what the sum total is, but since 1948, the inception of the state of Israel, when it first became a nation state by doing pretty much this kind of stuff from the jump, we have given $250 billion total. And the Biden administration greatly accelerated it post October 7 in terms of like tens of billions of more that we have given to the state of Israel to continue bombing all of these countries.
I don't want to sound like an idiot here, but why are we doing that?
How do I explain it?
Like, why would we help them do this? I don't understand.
Israel is, how do I describe it? It's like, I have to describe to you what settler colonialism is, where you like send a bunch of people to an area with the specific purpose of colonizing that area. That's kind of how America was founded as well. We are a settler colonial nation. We've sent a bunch of people here, and then those people came in and fucking killed every single indigenous person. And then we occupied more and more land.
That's what Thanksgiving's about, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so like Israel's doing that since 1948. Originally, it started under the British Empire when England or British Empire took over Palestine, the area that is called historic Palestine. And they didn't really like Jewish people a lot. This is like, pre-World War II.
Who didn't?
Most people in Europe did not. They were very anti-Semitic. And so they were like, oh, we don't really like Jews that much. We should just send them somewhere. Where can we send them? A lot of the Christian Zionists predate almost like Zionism being like a Jewish movement. There was a guy named Balfour, Lord Balfour, who made a declaration. Basically was like, we should ship all of the Jews here in England to the desert instead, to historic to mandatory Palestine. And that's basically how it started in like the early 1900s.
One guy did this?
Post World War I.
Okay.
After they took over Palestine from the Ottoman Empire.
Like when you say Jews, you mean Jewish people?
Yeah.
So this is a religion.
Well, Judaism is not just a religion; it's an ethno-religion. As
What's
in,
that?
like, there are different. Like, it is also an ethnicity as well as both.
Okay.
So you can be like a Jewish person. It's matrilineal. If your mother is Jewish, you're technically still Jewish, but you don't have to be a practicing Jew.
Okay.
And there are different kinds of like Jewish ethnicities under the umbrella of Judaism. You have Sephardic Jews, you have Mizrahi Jews, you have, and it depends on what region they're coming from originally or what region they lived in historically.
This is crazy. This is okay. I did not know this.
But ultimately, the one guy who was like, I don't think we should ship the Jews into the fucking desert in England was actually a Jewish guy.
Okay.
Who was like, no, we shouldn't do this. This doesn't seem like a great idea. But this is like a very long and convoluted history. I want to bring it back to some of the questions you had today.
Yeah.
Right? What was the last question that you had when I went all the way back to like fucking Lord Balfour?
I forgot. But I feel like, can you ship people?
They did. Yeah.
How
And
does that work?
Especially accelerated after World War II as well.
Was it they put him in like they did with the slaves? They put him in the boats.
No.
Down there, or?
Like a lot of people voluntarily went as well,
okay.
especially after World War II. Like originally, Zionism amongst the Jewish population was looked at in a very negative way. Zionism is the ideology behind like the development of the nation state of Israel being a Jewish ethno state, a state for Jews only for the most part, or a state where Jews have all of the rights and that non-Jews also can coexist, but don't have the same set of rights.
That sounds kind of racist, brother.
It is racist. That is precisely why I say, and many academics consider
okay
Zionism to be
or?
a fascist ideology, because it is. In the more in a nicer way to put it, if you want to put it in a nicer way, you can say like, oh, it's a way for Jews to have self-determination and sovereignty.
So can we as the black delegation claim Michigan and kick everyone else out?
I think people have tried that.
Why?
You know, not for Michigan specifically, but
Okay.
well, America is like Zionism, but for white people.
Okay.
But whiteness also is not as like hardlined and as defined as like as Judaism is as an ethno religion. So whiteness can expand usually. We also did it in Liberia too, but that's besides the point. I don't want to get into that.
Got it.
But basically, you are legitimately insane.
What about what he said is insane?
Oh, your question. They never have a follow up. He'll just say I'm anti-Semitic or something or lying. There's never like any sort of tangible counter to anything I'm saying. It's usually just shit slinging.
Someone said Michigan sucks. I mean, we'll take it, guys.
So, you asked why we fund Israel so much.
Yeah,
so,
why?
There's a couple different reasons, but I think the most reductive way to explain it, the easiest way to explain it, you are presenting history in such a one-sided manner. Yeah, you're right, totally. It's a very one-sided manner because it is a one-sided manner. It is a moral wrong. If you are anti-fascist, Zionism at the time was very reasonable. Yeah, that's why all the early Zionists now sound exactly like me, right? Fucking Albert Einstein. Go read his letters about how Jewish fascism is turning into Nazism, and you'll understand that, like, perhaps early Zionists who were critics of what the Zionist project became, as soon as they understood that the fundamental principle behind a land without people for a people without land was wrong, because there was people there. It wasn't a land without people. Okay? Without a state, Jews are being persecuted all around the world. Dog, what are you talking about? You think anti-Semitism has been dealt with now because Israel exists? It's worse now. Okay? It's gonna get even worse now, as a matter of fact, because Israel keeps bombing everything and saying we're doing this for Judaism and literally bringing you, I suspect, a Western Jew along with the project when you just want to live your fucking normal life. You don't have to hold on to this notion that, like, Jews are a monolithic force and they all care about Israel. And Israel, I don't even think this person is Jewish, by the way, but that's besides the point. But the notion that without a state, the Jews are being persecuted all around the world is, I'm not Jewish. Okay, then shut the fuck up, okay? Shut your stupid fucking bitch ass up, okay? I'm sick and tired of Christian Zionists coming in here and outflanking anti-Zionist Jews in my goddamn community and chirping like this shit. You didn't even go to like Jewish camp. Where did you did you develop this sentiment? You didn't even get the social conditioning, goddammit. What the fuck are you talking about? You didn't go to Birthright. You didn't get your shit sucked at Birthright. Why the fuck are you so ride or die? Sorry.
So you said Jewish camp. I thought they got rid of those.
No, that's different. It's like basketball camp and shit like that.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm not very well versed in all this sort of stuff.
God damn, this shit pisses me off so much, bro. Christian Zionists are so fucking annoying.
Oh man.
Okay, let's continue.
This is all crazy. Like this.
Let me
Let
explain the
me explain
the process.
Why are we giving them money? I don't understand. Like,
okay, so the region is a resource-rich region. Okay? There's a lot of oil. We care about oil.
Still?
Everything runs on oil. Of course, everything runs on oil.
What about Tesla?
So that's really important. And there's also a very important trade route there. Okay?
Yeah.
Here, I'll show you a map.
Okay.
Okay? Let's show you. So let's pull it up on a map right here. What the bro, I pulled the image. This is the image. This is 1P, dog. What the fuck? God damn it, Google. Get better, okay? Get fucking better.
What the
What is happening? Why is every image like this, bro?
I'm gonna be honest, I can't load porn either.
Yo, what the fuck? Yo, this shit is hella annoying. Okay, let's see. This one works. Okay, thank God. Okay, so
Yeah.
this is a trade map. Okay, these are some trade routes. Okay, one of these trade routes, especially if you want to cut directly in from like Asian countries, if you want to cut directly in to Europe,
Yeah.
is
I
you
see
have to
Italy.
go through this area. Okay, this area that's known as the Red Sea. There's a lot of countries around there that might have a different perspective than the United States of America. So we packed them all up and we made sure that they had either puppet states that were in control of that entire trade route, or at the very least, at the tippy top of that, you have the Suez Canal. Okay, this is the easiest to secure part of this trade route. It's the final part of this trade route. On the one side, you have Egypt. On the other side, you have Israel. Okay. America needed, and England before it, needed some way to make sure that they have full and complete control over this, over the Suez Canal, to ensure that like countries there don't turn around and go, hey, we're shutting this off. Actually, you really pissed us off, America. I don't like that. We're going to shut the Suez Canal off. Technically, it's Egypt on both sides, but yes, Israel being there is what is significant.
Okay, I understand we need the trade route, but why can't we do what we did in the past instead of giving them weapons, just destroy them?
What do you mean?
Like we went and took oil from other places. Why would we let these small people tell us what to do?
Because no matter how powerful of a country you are, America is kind of doing that already in the region, but like it's still unstable. Why is it unstable? Because Egypt is a massive country. Egypt needs billions and billions of dollars of money from America. That's why it's a client state.
Wait, who does? Who needs that?
Egypt.
Why?
Because they could not exist in the way that they do without America consistently pumping it full of money. However, the Egyptian governance is shaky. Why is it shaky? Because there's a lot of fucking people there that might go, hey man, I kind of don't like what you're doing. I'm going to do a coup. And that has happened in the past in Egypt's history. As a matter of fact, during the Cold War, if we're going to go all the way back there was a lot of allegiances with the other major power in the world, the USSR, Russia.
But they suck. They can't even beat Ukraine.
Okay, well, that's new Russia. That's an entirely different story. But
We have
during
no
the
one to fear
Cold War,
anymore.
we were afraid that like
Okay.
Egypt might, align with the Soviets. A lot of the pan-Arabic nationalist movements that were forming when countries were being formed, nation states as we understand it were being formed, were like, hey, we'll take our allegiances from whoever the fuck wants to support us. If it's not going to be America, maybe we kind of like socialism a little bit. Maybe we want some money and some weapons from the USSR. America did not like that. They were like, no, you could not work with those guys. America defeated the USSR and destroyed and dissolved the USSR. And in the aftermath, they were the only big game in town for many, many years until China came in. But even China is not doing that as much right now. But basically what is going on is these countries are completely captured by American interest, by American money. America gives, weapons to these countries so they can fund their militaries, and you can use that military to suppress your population if they try to do an uprising, things of that nature. We do tons and tons of information sharing, surveillance, all this stuff, right? So basically, at the heart of the matter is America wanting a ride or die, right? And what is a bigger ride or die than a country that is currently being run by a guy who grew up in Philadelphia? His name is Benjamin Netanyahu, also known as Benjamin Netai. I believe he has some other names as well. May or may not have been an intelligence asset at the time for the United States of America, and also Mossad, which is the Israeli intelligence.
What do you mean he grew up in Philadelphia?
He just grew up in Philadelphia.
And he's the leader of
and he
a
is
different-
yes, and he's the longest running, I think at this point, leader of Israel. Yes, the current prime minister.
How is
So-
that possible?
How is that possible?
Don't you?
He just fucking grew up in Philadelphia. What do you mean?
Okay.
Anyway, so he also went to MIT. So here's the thing. All of this makes a lot more sense if you look at Israel as not just like Egypt, a client state, a vassal state, but instead just as an American state, the 51st state, right?
Are you saying that they're attacking other countries because we want them to?
Yes. So
Shut
here's how
up.
this works. Israel is basically another state of the United States of America. That's the way to analyze it. We say it's sovereign, but it's not really sovereign. Okay, it's completely motivated and controlled, and there's like obviously they have their own territorial ambitions and whatnot, but like ultimately America is the big dog in here in the party. Okay, it doesn't seem like it right now because Biden is a fucking idiot and very very much invested in Israel's ultra Zionist project, but Israel is basically the 51st state of the United States of America, and not only is it a state, I like to say it is one of the most important states. Like it's not like North Dakota. You know what I mean? We could get rid of North Dakota. Who fucking cares? You know, United Dakotas. Who gives a shit? No one will think about that ever again. But Israel is significantly more important. That's why it gets more money than other American states. So
Jesus,
that's it. Israel basically is an American state,
but
in a resource-rich region that has its own espionage facilities. So there's like plausible deniability when they do stuff. You're like, oh, that's a different state. Well, that's not us. Come on, guys. It has its own unsinkable aircraft carrier, basically, in the region that we're constantly giving them all the newest weapons and newest toys that we develop in the United States of America. And our tax money completely funds and props up the Israeli state. And that is precisely the reason why in the American stock market, there are more Israeli companies than there are Indian companies and like 3 or 4 other nations combined. So our partnership with Israel is like this. Okay.
So who's like making these calls? Because it's Biden can't even think. So like who's making these calls? Like who's in charge? Like who's running the show here?
I think a lot of the people that Biden has surrounded himself with are all on board with the interest of Israel. They're like, yeah, they're going to keep doing this. They're going to keep pummeling, but I think it's okay because, they're the good guys and everyone else is the bad guy.
I don't see how this is like for the average American. Why is this good for us if Israel's pummeling this area?
How do I explain it? So there's 2 different ways to describe it. In the simplest terms, it's not.
Okay.
It's not beneficial. It's not beneficial even a little bit. But I guess the American government does a lot of stuff that's not inherently or immediately beneficial to the American interest, but we do it anyway. Why did we go to Iraq? Why did we invade Iraq? Was that beneficial?
Was that George Bush?
Yeah. Well, Dick
Jr.,
Cheney,
right?
Dick Cheney and him, yeah.
Well, okay.
Dick Cheney was his vice president. There's a couple different reasons why it's beneficial for some American interests. One, we get to take oil and control oil and extract oil with Western corporations. We parse through their natural resources as we usually do in many parts of the global South. But beyond that, there's also an industry that matters perhaps the most in the United States of America. Broadly defined, the military-industrial complex.
Okay.
And basically, the military-industrial complex is very important to us because it is our manufacturing. It is at the heart of our manufacturing. It's the one kind of manufacturing that has not moved overseas when a lot of our other manufacturing has moved overseas.
So making weapons.
So making weapons is very important for us. Doing R&D for weapons is very important for us. Taxpayers fund the weapons research. Taxpayers fund the wages.
Mm-hmm.
Taxpayers create the factories so that we can make more weapons. And then when we have weapons, we got to use those weapons, right? Obviously, you got to go somewhere. You can't just have them sitting in a fucking arsenal somewhere going to waste.
Are you telling me this is all about money?
Yes, of course.
But don't we have more than everyone already?
But how do we get here?
I mean, are we good?
And also, who has the money is also important because
that's what I'm asking you.
Because the reality is, we like to talk about the GDP, right? Or we like to talk about like our overall output and how much money we have as America. But what good is all of that money out there as, numbers on a board if the average American can't actually heal itself? The average American can't go to the fucking doctor without, going into medical bankruptcy. Does that money matter all that much? Like, it's great. We're one of the richest nations. We are the richest nation on the planet, richest nation in history. And yet we can't take care of our own citizens. We have tens of thousands of homeless people on the streets. We have people who need health care. We have no mechanism of competing with the rest of the world in terms of like our education. Our education is also paywalled for no fucking reason. When other countries don't do that at all because they understand it's probably better to educate as many people as possible.
They have to be doing it on purpose.
Yeah, I mean it's short term. It's an endless death spiral caused by short term profit seeking.
I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, we're all fucked up, huh?
Yes, and that's definitely.
I thought my problems were problems like being single and alone, but
so
not really that big of a deal compared to this shit.
So yeah, basically, the short and sweet of it is that Israel must exist. Israel must exist in the ways that it does as an American vestige of empire in a resource-rich region that is at any moment can immediately take control over a key trade route here. God damn, dude. Holy shit.